and welcome to Cuisine Secrets. I'm Julie Hardigan. Today, I'm going to take you to South America to learn about a traditional Latin American dish, ceviche. If you haven't tried it, ceviche consists of usually diced seafood that's been marinated or lightly cooked in an acidic marinade such as citrus juice or vinegar. They're bright and refreshing, take just minutes to make. Historians agree that the dish originated during colonial times in the area of present-day Peru, probably influenced by Moorish women from Granada who accompanied the Spaniards to discover the New World. There are lots of regional variations on the dish, from popular Mexican ceviches that use a simple lime marinade to Ecuadorian style, where it's often made with shrimp or other fish in a tomato-infused sauce. But Peru takes its ceviche very seriously. It's even been officially declared as part of their national heritage and has a holiday to honor it. When we come back, we'll go and chat with Chef Jose Luis Chavez of Mission Ceviche to learn more about how to make it.
How can you save time and money when you shop? Get into the habit of buying your store's store brands. You get the same quality as national brands and save at the cash register. No apps, no coupons, just money in your pocket. Give store brands a try and smile your way through the supermarket.
So you guys, welcome to Mission Ceviche, and Chef Jose Luis, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you, Chef. It's a pleasure to have you.
You guys, Chef Jose Luis specializes in Peruvian ceviche, but we'd love to hear a little bit about the difference between Peruvian and other ceviches they may have had from Ecuador and Mexico.
Ceviches, you have ceviches in Venezuela, you got ceviches in Ecuador. I think part of the story, also in Philippines and Asia, you got this fish marinated with calamansi. So somehow cities and countries near to the sea that have this type of fish marinated with citrus and chili peppers.
Right.
But Peru is famous because we have unique products. Peru is a country with a huge biodiversity, talking about chili peppers, corn, potato, plus huge culture influence, like Japanese, for example. So after the 1800s, the Japanese came to Peru and they were working in the south of Lima in cane sugar and rice farms. And then a little bit later, they were getting together in Lima and create this community called Nikkei. So that's how this Nikkei cuisine is getting there. And actually the number 8 of the 50 best restaurants in the world is in Lima. Yes, Nikkei. It's very interesting. Perfect techniques, you know, sashimis with Peruvian products, with chili peppers. That mix is amazing.
So one of the things that makes Peruvian ceviches different from others is leche de tigre, right? Tiger's milk?
Tiger milk, yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about what that is?
Absolutely. So the tiger milk is basically the soul of the ceviche. It's that mix between the acidity of the fresh lime, the Peruvian chili peppers, it could be rocoto, ají amarillo. And like I said, each part in Peru, they use their own ingredients. All right, so we got the pollock, which is the catch of the day. Like I said, very important to keep it fresh. In 5 minutes, it's gonna start changing the colors. When the acidity of the lime starts curing the fish and the fish starts sweating, that's the tiger milk. In Peru, you actually can drink it.
So for viewers at home that want to make a Peruvian style ceviche, what tips do you have for them?
So, yeah, like I say, very important, fresh fish, okay? And then if you guys can find, and which we can find very soon, Peruvian chili peppers at home, rocoto, definitely it's a Peruvian chili pepper. It looks like a red bell pepper.
Okay.
And we have over here already in paste.
Nice,
I
okay.
found it frozen and we make the sauce. Just boil it and blend it up and that's it.
So it's like a chili puree.
Like a chili puree.
What peppers could someone at home use if they can't find that one?
You can use red habanero. And actually you can use jalapeno too.
Right.
The one.
Are there other ingredients that are usually added to Peruvian that make it Peruvian? You mentioned.
Yes, definitely
Yeah.
the corns. Definitely the corn. For example, we have here choclo. It's also called like giant corn from the Andes. And we got the cancha, which is this like a crunchy corn with a little, we call it the popcorn of the Incas.
Right.
You have the balance. You have the crunchy, you have the acidity.
Right.
You have the spicy, which is make the explosion of the flavor of ceviche.
So
have to be there.
delicious, exactly.
Yes. And the classic ceviche from Peru is coming also with a piece of sweet potato.
Yes, I love that.
Which is bringing the sweetness to the plate.
Right, so instead of taco chips or tortilla chips, you've got corn, crispy corn, and you also have sweet potato to give you a contrast of color and flavor, and it's such a beautiful dish.
Now we want to work on the preparation of ceviche. We cut the fish, small dices. And the sweet potato over here, which this is our little touch of Mission Ceviche. So what do you think? We try? It's time to try?
Yes, please.
All right, let's do this.
So delicious. Oh my gosh, you guys, chef, that's perfect. It's got that perfect balance of tart and lightly salty and sweet and crunchy. It's this total flavor bomb and really well balanced.
Thank
too.
you. That's the whole idea.
Thank you so much, chef. This is wonderful.
Thank you very much. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share a little bit about our culture, what we do.
Absolutely, and I'm sure you made everybody at home really hungry. So let's go to the studio, you guys, and I'll show you how to make a really easy Peruvian ceviche at home. Now, one of the things that we learned that's very specific or different about Peruvian ceviche is that it has other ingredients other than fish added to it, like sweet potato and corn. And we saw how Chef Jose Luis approached it, but what we're gonna do today is do it in a way that you can make it at home with ingredients from your local supermarket. So the first step, we're gonna take one sweet potato, peel and dice it, spread it out on some parchment paper and roast it until it's lightly browned. Now, some ceviches you might see Peruvian ceviches have one large piece of sweet potato, but I thought that having like nice little small pieces like this that were roasted would bring out some nice sweetness. You're gonna let them cool after you roast them and we'll add it in later. Now, you want to buy the freshest fish possible. Corvina is traditionally used, but if you can't find that, you could do a Pacific cod or halibut, tilapia, flounder, snapper, anything like that. So I have some beautiful halibut here today. And what you're gonna need to do is line up 2 bowls set over a bowl with ice, just to keep things really, really cold. Now, I really loved the way that Chef Jose Luis used the little scraps of the fish to kind of get the leche de tigre started, to infuse it with even more flavor. So we're going to trim off the edges of the fish to square it off, and we're gonna add that to 1 bowl. You're really just cutting little tiny bits off to square it off. Cut it into small pieces. Put that into 1 bowl. You're gonna look to have about a ½ cup of fish or so in there. If you wanted to, you could use that in the end ceviche too. You don't have to discard that. Just add a tiny bit of milk to this fish and then season it with some salt. Okay, now for the rest of the fish, we want to get it into a really nice, clean, pretty dice because this is going to be the fish that goes into the end ceviche and we want it to look really nice. So now we're going to dice the rest of our fish into bite-sized pieces. Put the rest of the diced fish into the bowl, set over the ice, and don't forget, you always have to season your food as you're cooking and moving along. So we're going to add a little bit of salt to this now too. We will make sure to balance all the flavors at the end, but you do want to make sure that it's well salted. And now we'll continue making our leche de tigre. So to add flavor to our leche de tigre, first we're going to smash one small piece of celery. You can just use the back of your knife to do it. Then we will smash one garlic clove. Okay, next it's time to add some heat to it, right? So what's traditionally used is the ají amarillo pepper, but those can be a little bit difficult to find. So a great substitute that's so simple to source at your supermarket is a habanero pepper. They look like this. When you're going to mince them up, it's a good idea to wear some kitchen gloves just to make sure that you don't get any pepper in your eyes or burn yourself. So I have one habanero pepper minced up. And then next, we saw that Chef Jose Luis had his own amarillo pepper puree that he was adding to really give a lot of great heat to this dish. But what you can do is find yourself some habanero hot sauce. That should be very simple to find either online or in a supermarket. And we're gonna add this to taste. You start out with about a teaspoon or so, and you can always add a little bit more later if you want more heat. Okay, and then next, the most important part is adding the lime juice. You're gonna need about 2/3 of a cup of lime juice. We'll pour that over, give it a little stir, and then we are just gonna let this sit for about 2 to 3 minutes or so, or until the fish starts to turn white and opaque. You can see how beautiful this looks. So now let's check on our leche de tigre. I'll show you what you're looking for. You want those little fish bits that we trimmed off earlier to be turning white and opaque, just like this. And now we're gonna strain this mixture into the fish that we diced on the side. And then you can press down a little bit just to make sure you're getting all of the flavor through and as much of the liquid through. Now we will let this mixture marinate for 2 to 3 minutes just until the edges of the fish are turning white and opaque again, and then we'll finish our dish. So now our fish is marinated. I'll give you a little peek. You want it looking like this. So now I'm going to show you how to plate it. You'll take a slotted spoon so we can transfer the fish over into a serving bowl. But we're going to save the leche de tigre to season it afterwards. And then I'll show you how to add all the other different components to it. Okay, so we'll add in our diced roasted sweet potato. You can do this to the eye. You don't have to add all of it if you don't want. But it's gonna add that little bit of sweetness and still honor the traditional dish, but putting a little fun twist on it. Then we're going to add a little bit of additional heat with a minced serrano pepper. So you could add another habanero here, but serranos are really easy to find, and I just like the green herbal note that they add to this dish, and it's a little less hot. So this way you can really keep the heat in control and make it to your taste. So we'll add some serrano pepper. Next, for some really nice crunch, sometimes you'll see Peruvian ceviches with a piece of whole corn on the cob or a chunk of corn on the cob. We are going to use quicos or large corn nuts. And what I love about this, it's gonna add a really nice crunch to the dish also. Now we will season it with a little bit of additional leche de tigre, just to give it that extra punch. But we don't want it too wet. And add a little bit more salt. And then finally, to garnish it, to make this look really beautiful, we will top it with some thinly sliced red onion and some cilantro. How beautiful is this dish? So this makes enough to serve 2 to 4. 2 would be a really nice main dish for 4 people for an appetizer. I plated it all into one bowl, but you could do this into small individual bowls. It would be so fun for a party, and you can see how simple and fresh and bright Peruvian ceviche is. I really hope you try this recipe. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Cuisine Secrets. I'm Julie Hardigan. Make sure you subscribe to our Store Brands USA YouTube channel, and I'll see you next time.